Okay. Hello, friends. I am Celine Williams, real estate broker in Snohomish County, ready to help you buy, sell, and invest in real estate. And I have Mr. Jeff Miltenberger with me, my preferred lender partner. Go ahead and say who you are, why you're so cool.
I am so cool. What? Well, I can't even do my hands right. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
so
You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, I'm Jeff, NFM Lending. Been doing this for 30 years. Love helping people build wealth in real estate. Happy hump day, Celine. Let's rock this out today.
let's rock this out. So, what are we seeing in the market? What are you seeing with activity right now?
I'm seeing activity has definitely picked up a little bit, which is good news. A lot of people are coming out of the woodwork to get pre-approved. Even people that were pre-approved last year that kind of put things on hold, especially towards the latter half of the year, with the election and things like that. A lot of people kind of pulled back a little bit, and all of a sudden they're reaching out and making offers and updating their pre-approval. So I definitely think the activity's there. You know, I think the biggest thing I've been hearing from people is just like looking for the right place. Like,
Mhm.
it's still, I think, I don't know, you tell me, like inventory seems to be low, like there's not a lot of selection out there, but I'm also talking to a lot of agents along the way, listing agents when we're making offers and things like that. And they're telling me they got more and more listings coming. So where are we at there with inventory?
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing the same thing. Obviously, we've already shared a couple of clients who I've sent to you to get pre-approved, and it's really awesome to see this, right? Because we have clients who've been waiting. That's been our biggest thing. We're waiting for interest rates to come down. We're waiting for the election to be done. We're waiting for Trump to actually get in presidency. We're here. We're waiting, and we've been waiting for home prices to go down. What's been happening, though, is interest rates have just continued to go up a little bit. They kind of come down and then they scoot back up, right? We're also seeing home prices go up in certain areas. Snohomish County and King County is what I usually focus on. And I will actually show some stats to give you an example of like, yeah, actually is a lot of inventory right now. I think the spring market has actually already started. People are starting to put their homes on the market, but buyers are a little bit pickier now. They're
Uh,
not just coming in and making an offer willy-nilly. And so if you're selling your home right now, you need to make sure that your home is competitive and that your home is prepared, that you're working with a good agent who knows what they're doing, who actually has a strong marketing plan and is able to actually sell your home. So let me pull up some stats real quick.
on
Share
that
my, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it. On that too, I wanted to piggyback on that with sellers. Like, I think there are a lot of sellers that want to sell out there, but they kind of get deer in the headlights. Like, they don't want to take the time to fix up their house, or they think about moving right now with all their stuff that they've compiled over the last 30 years of living in the house or whatever it might be. And, you know, want to make sure the sellers understand that there's great bridge loans out there right now. We've got a fantastic product that allows them to, go find a new house, pull the equity out of their current house, and then use that to buy a new house without having to qualify with their old house payment as part of their ratios. But it also covers their house payment for the next 6 months while they can get their house fixed up and get it ready to sell and get it on prime time. I mean, you're saying the housing market start a little earlier, but April, May typically is probably one of the hotter times to put your house on the market. So this is like a perfect opportunity for sellers as well as to get a good deal on a house that they can buy today and then get ready to put their market on in a couple of months, staged properly and things like that to make it, like you said, have it ready to go to get the maximum price for, bang for their buck, basically.
Absolutely. Yeah. Nope. I completely second that. And one reason why I was saying why the spring market has started is look at inventory. So this is King County, green is Snohomish, Skagit is orange, right? So this is 2025. In January of this year, we had 4,353 homes for sale in King County versus 3,449 last year at this time. So that's an increase of 26% in King County. In Snohomish County, 19%, and then in Skagit, 17%. So what that tells me is more sellers are ready, or more homeowners are ready to make moves, whether they're relocating to another state, whether they're finally using their equity to get into their bigger home. Maybe it's the downsizers who are feeling like, oh, well, my kids have grown up. We don't need as much space anymore. Let's downsize and sell my home so I can get into a smaller space. But people are still selling their homes. So granted, yes, inventory is low. However, it's higher this year than it was the year prior. But what's interesting here too is look at how much it's gone down from the year prior to that. And I feel like that's really to do with kind of the shift in the interest rates.
Yeah.
Right. Because people were still kind of trying to figure out like what's going on. Everything was 3%, 4%, and then it slowly started sliding up to 6, 7, 8%. And that's
Yeah.
really going to lower things. And then
Yeah.
let's go ahead and look at sales price. So this is the average. So in 2025, the average sales price in January was 1,090,000, which is an increase of almost 10%. Snohomish County 802, increase of 8.8%. And then in Skagit, an increase in 8%. So prices are still going up, at least in the month of January.
But I think we
So
got our dip there too, Celine, looking from 2023 to 2024 is, people are like waiting for prices to go down. Well, 2024 was your year to get a better price. Interest rates were higher, but that's what happens. That's what we're talking about. When we're talking about high interest rates, it does help prices mellow out a little bit. And it did.
mhm,
In 2024, it was
yeah,
down, what, 5.1% from
correct.
2023. A 5% drop in the housing market is a substantial drop in the average sales price, in my opinion,
Yeah,
uh, from that standpoint. And now it's starting to turn around and go back up. And part of that reason is interest rates have come down. In 2023, October 2023 is when interest rates hit 8% or just over 8, and everyone was freaking out. And I think that kind of took a hit on 2024 as we moved into 2024. It just was slower year because the interest rates were in the sevens solidly the whole time, and people are like waiting for rates to come down. And now they waited for rates to come down, and look at prices up 10% already just in the beginning of 2025. I
right.
think now is just another reason that you want to, if you're thinking about buying, you're sitting on the sidelines waiting for rates to come down, you're waiting to pay more, period.
Exactly.
Don't want you to do that. So give us a call so we can chat about that, talk about what you're looking to do, and talk about that strategy of waiting for the lower rates, because there is a cost to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing too to keep in mind, especially if you're a seller right now, to not freak out if your home doesn't sell right away. It's just not the same market. It's a completely different market. So if you are a buyer, but you're also needing to sell, definitely lean on resources like what Jeff is talking about, that bridge loan. If the numbers make sense for you, let's explore that option. Because here's the thing: if we do run into a situation where we're competing against other offers, a contingent offer is just not going to be that competitive. To know, for me as a seller, to know that I would accept an offer basing it on them being able to sell their home. I don't know who their agent is. I don't know if you're going to go super aggressive. I don't know, like, if you're going to even be able to sell your home. And then not only get under contract, but then will that also close, right? What if it's a contingency upon a contingency? I've seen that. I've seen like 4 contingencies where one person needed to sell their home and it was just like this one, this one, this one, this one. It was insane. I've only done it on 2 sides, and that was really stressful. So
Well, plus can you get bumped too? Like if
oh
you're
yes,
in
there's
contingent and your house
yep,
isn't selling, and then 2 weeks later you could get, or a week later, I don't know how the
it's
contingency
5 days. You
work,
have
but
5 days
five
basically, and
days
they
they can
can
start
bump
bumping
you
you.
out. Correct.
And then
Yep.
also, if your house doesn't sell after a period of time, don't you have to drop your price too? You're kind of forced to drop the price. Is that part of the contract as well?
So yeah, so typically what happens is, say you do a contingent offer, you have 5 days unless you negotiate more to get it just on the market, right? So 5 days. So if it's not already on the market, 5 days to get it on the market, and then you have 45 days to actually get it under contract. And again, if that home does not have any activity and we need to extend it, that's fine. You might be able to, but like you said, things can get bumped out of the way. Somebody has a conventional VA, FHA loan that can close in 30 days, that definitely looks a lot more desirable than you having to sell your home in order to buy my home. So there's
Yeah.
just so many different things to look at. But right now in 2025, it looks like it's actually come down as far as days on market. So this year in King County, it's 27 days. And this is all residential. So this is residential, condos, vacant land, farm. This is everything. I'm not excluding residential and condos. Um, so it is now 27 in King. 25 in Snohomish, 46 in Skagit. So they're waiting a little bit longer. Last year, 28 in King, 27 in Snohomish, 46 in Skagit. And
Huh.
then the year before, it was even less. So 19 days, 20 days, and 30 days. So
And I
you're
think
seeing that homes are just sitting a little bit longer. So it's okay. It doesn't even necessarily mean you need to reduce the price. In most cases, yes, you probably priced it too high. We're noticing sellers are a little hungover from the days, the glory days of getting 100K over asking. It's just not happening anymore. It's just not happening, not often anyway. So you want to make sure you're pricing it just right, not super high, and getting as much exposure to the property as possible.
And another big thing off of this that I'm getting off of this is that it is seeming like the market's getting a little more, speeding up a little bit, like the time on market is going down. And I think we got to keep in mind too, this is an average number of days on the market. So some houses are selling same day, multiple offers. I mean, I'm seeing that. I was just involved in an ugly one that was crazy, that went 250,000 over list, just in Seattle. Just literally, we just went into contract. So I
Yep.
mean, if it's the right house in the right market in the right area and it's in good shape, you're going to get multiple offers on the sale. But on the buyer's side, the 25 and 27 on the market, I love that for our buyers because if there's a house sitting for 2 weeks, that means you got negotiating power. So if we can
Yep.
find the right house for you, something that works, yeah, maybe it's not perfect in my mind, but when it's not perfect, that means there's opportunity to negotiate with the seller and get your closing costs paid and or have them buy your rate down. And
Yes.
a lot of these, we'll call them diamonds in the rough, might be an opportunity for your family to make a great amount of wealth on that too. Just buying the right house, fix it up over time yourself if you're handy or whatever. A lot of these houses that are listed, they're definitely financeable. It's just maybe they're not perfect for you. So that pickiness that you were talking about, Celine, I feel like if someone's not as picky and can find a little diamond in the rough that they can fix up and make work for their family over time, they build that first time homeowner equity. And now all of a sudden they got this big chunk of equity they can use to buy their dream house down the road too. So that first time home buyer mentality or first home mentality or starter home mentality that was the word I was looking for. Starter home mentality. Like if you can't afford the $700,000 one because of the rates, buy the 550 one that kind of works, build some equity over the next year, 2, 3 years, and then sell that when in a hotter market when rates are lower, make more money on that, and then go out and buy the dream house too.
Right. And guys, this takes time. It's not right away, right? Don't buy a home today expecting to sell it in 2 years. You could get lucky and it could appreciate crazy. And when you sell your home, you could make a lot of money, but it's not a guarantee. And the reason why I say this, just being transparent, right? Like I have a seller right now, one of my listings that they bought this home 2 years ago for 500,000. And they put so much money into it, but because where they're selling it only 2 years later, it didn't give it enough time to appreciate. So now they might have to come out of pocket in order to sell the home. What does that mean? That means they have to pay to sell their home, not necessarily actually get money. So we're usually seeing the real appreciation come around 3, 5, 7 years. The longer, the better. And it also depends on what market you're selling into. If you're planning on buying that diamond in the rough, like Jeff is talking about, make sure that you are picking things that are desirable for a future buyer. Don't do bright red walls. I mean, some people love that, but try to stick to neutrals. People love neutrals, or make changes that are going to be appealing. I understand it's your home, but you also want it to appreciate and be able to sell quickly for top dollar. If you don't know what that looks like, reach out to me. I'm looking at designs. I'm keeping up with the latest trends all the time and helping people actually get to the point where it looks better so they can sell it in the future.
Perfect. I love
So
it. Well said.
so yeah, that's kind of where we're at. How have we helped our clients win this week?
I think the big win was on that multiple offer situation I was telling you about earlier that went well over. We ended up winning in that situation, calling the listing agent and negotiating with them and working with the agent directly to make sure that we put together a really strong and strategic offer. But then also, having the agent reach out to the listing agent and talking to them about when do we need to close, how do we need to make it happen. So we did a short close, we waived financing, we waived all our contingencies, which is a lot on us, and we ended up winning. So I mean, again, though, in the bigger picture, what I'm trying to say is you got to work with a good team. You got to have a really good realtor like you, Celine. You got to have a really good lender that's supporting you. And when you make an offer, it's not like we're just gonna write up some paperwork and Celine's gonna submit an offer via email. It's a serious negotiation, and it makes a huge difference on who you're working with, on how much you end up paying for a house, and whether you get your offer accepted. Like,
Hmm.
which are two really important things. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to overpay,
Yeah.
and you need to get your offer accepted, especially when it's the house you really want. And the only way to do that, in my opinion, and there is a way to do that, is you got to have a really good team around you that's going to
Yeah.
work their butts off to come up with a strategy to win.
Absolutely. And experience too. I mean, you guys find homes all the time, right? It's very easy for clients to find homes, but do your research in who you're working with, right? Read through their reviews. You can go on homes.com, put in their name and find out how many homes they've actually sold. What's their average price point? Are there certain areas that they're better at versus others, right? My bread and butter is Snohomish County. I love Snohomish County. It's where I live, right? So I do a lot of business in my area. I do King too. I used to live in Auburn, so I'm very familiar with that area. I went to UW. I know Seattle very well too. A little bit of Skagit, but for the most part, Snohomish County is my home. So that's kind of where I try to do things, but make sure you're doing the research. Zillow is a great one to see. So just type in your agent's name, put in there, see how much they've sold, see how much experience they have, or homes.com is a really good one too.
I didn't know you could look up people's numbers online.
You can.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
See how much experience they have. And if they don't have experience, right? Sometimes they don't. Sometimes we're new. And I was new at one point too. So I don't want you to oversee me because of that. But if they have a mentor or if they're aligned with a really great brokerage that is doing a good job and has good trainings, definitely look at that too. Because, we all got to start somewhere. And so for me, when I didn't have experience, I had mentors, but I was enthusiastic as heck. So my
we're
enthusiasm,
still enthusiastic
I'm
as heck. What are you talking about? That's gone nowhere.
but now I'm experienced too, so win-win.
It is a win-win.
And then I have amazing partners. I've been in this industry long enough to know that I want to work with people who get the job done and enjoy doing it, right? I talk to Jeff's team. Every single one of them is just so cheerful, so excited, and just even when it's super stressful, you guys are just yay, we got another one. And my recent win with you guys specifically was our clients, our VA buyers who came to us last June, didn't qualify for much at all. And now they've worked on their credit score, they've worked on their income, they've worked on several things that you set them up for strategize wise. And look, now they're pre-approved for 800,000. There's a good chance that they're not even going to have to come to the table with closing cost or down payment.
I know, it's a
So
great opportunity. I'm so happy for them. That was
that's a
awesome.
huge win. That's a huge win. So, I mean, if you think you can't do it, just talk to us. We'll see, we'll try to work on a way. We'll try to figure out if you can do it. And if you can't do it, we'll work on a plan to see how we can get you there. You just got to have the conversation. So,
Awesome.
awesome. Well, is there anything else you want to share on our Finance Friday today?
No, I am doing fantastic. I'm excited about the market. I think
Yeah.
things are picking up. I think if you're thinking about buying in the next 6 to 12 months, you should reach out now and
Yeah.
get prepared and
Yeah.
find out what's actually happening,
Yeah.
and even find out where you stand just to make sure you're ready to go.
100%. Thank you so much, everybody. Please
Happy
reach out.
Friday.
We're here to help you. Bye, Jeff.
Ciao.
How do I stop recording?
Hey, next time we should stop the screen share like later on and or earlier on, because we had that big screen thing. So our little pictures are up there while we were talking towards the end of it. I kept